Donald Trump, the former president of the United States of America, stands arrested. This, of course, is a part of the hush money case scandal, which has now become a court case, and Donald Trump has now been taken inside the court. He surrendered. He walked inside the court. And by virtue of that, technically what that, of course, means is that Donald Trump, according to the procedures in the court, will be fingerprinted as a part of his arrest, although it is still unclear whether a mugshot will be taken of the former president of the United States of America. He'll next be taken to a courtroom where he'll be arraigned, which effectively means an appearance that is expected to be quick and routine. But it represents a surreal, unprecedented and a historic moment in American history. This is what the scene looks like just inside the entrance of the Manhattan Criminal Court. Remember, the media has not been allowed to cover the inside court proceedings. There will be a total of 5 photographers who will be allowed to take pictures of Donald Trump in the courtroom before the hearing begins. News outlets will not be allowed to broadcast the arraignment live. This is what the judge had said on Monday night, rejecting a request from several media organizations that they should be allowed to broadcast the proceedings from inside of the court. Now, this, of course, is a sensational case that has garnered attention from around the world. No one could have expected that a case such as this would, of course, push Donald Trump into such a huge legal trouble that he presently finds himself in. Now, it remains to be seen whether Donald Trump will, of course, speak in New York, because at the time that he walked in, he did not talk to the many reporters who would, of course, come up there to track the legal proceedings. All eyes are, of course, on the Manhattan court, where the former American president, Donald Trump, is currently under arrest and is awaiting for his arraignment. Now, we just saw a little while back Donald Trump, in fact, walk inside the courtroom, and by virtue of that, Donald Trump stands arrested on technical grounds. He's turned himself in to the law enforcement and is soon expected to be charged in the New York City courtroom. The big development, of course, comes after last week's historic grand jury's indictment, where he became the first current or the former president in the American history to face criminal charges. But we need to point out to our viewers, if you're just joining us, although Donald Trump has been criminally indicted, we still do not know what the charges against Donald Trump are, because the court has not yet made those charges public. But we expect that the judge will, of course, read out the charges when Donald Trump, of course, appears before him, and then those charges could become public. Now, it remains to be seen whether Donald Trump will speak to the media once he steps out, whether he'll be allowed to speak to the media, or will there be a gag order by the court which would prevent him from talking to the media about this specific case. All of these are issues that are still not very clear. But my colleague Susan Tehrani is presently in front of the Manhattan court and is tracking all the developments as they unfold. Susan, I know it's very noisy at the moment where you are, but if you can hear me, this of course is a case, a sensational case that everyone around the world is following very, very closely. A former president of the United States of America, as we speak, has been criminally indicted and is under arrest by virtue of him surrendering to the Manhattan courthouse.
Yes, really a momentous moment, Mohammed, as you mentioned, and really the world is watching. Some in awe and disbelief as to how this happened, really feeling sorry for America's justice system, depending on which side of the aisle you're on. And then another group, really another side, not only here in the United States, but around the world, really continuously repeating that cliche quote that we've been hearing, that no one is above the law, quote unquote. So here we are. Donald Trump did really enter that courtroom. As you mentioned, we've heard that when he comes out of the courtroom after facing the judge and being arraigned, because there are cameras in the hallway, he may be able to maybe say a few words before leaving the courthouse in downtown Manhattan. So that'll be interesting to see what he has to say.
Absolutely, indeed. And also, Susan, at this moment, do we know as to how long he may be inside of the court and what procedure will be followed? Because we're being told that he'll be fingerprinted. He may or may not have a mugshot taken. It's unlikely that he'll be handcuffed. But how long is he likely to be inside of the court? Because according to reports that have in fact also come in, it's being said that he'll be allowed to walk free once he secures bail.
Yeah, what we've learned is that this is something that will take very quickly, probably at most 15 to 20 minutes once he does face that Manhattan judge. And then he's going to be most likely plead not guilty and then be set free based on his own recognizance. Absolutely,
indeed. And this, of course, is the case that we are tracking. Do stay on with this, Susan Tehrani. We'll come back to you in just a bit. But for the viewers who are joining us just now, this is almost a surreal moment. A former president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, is presently under arrest as he voluntarily walked inside the Manhattan court. And by virtue of doing that, on technical grounds, he's, of course, under arrest as he is presently in police custody. The case is the sensational case that the media around the world has been talking as that of the president and the porn star, where Stormy Daniels, a porn actress, had stated that she was paid hush money through one of Donald Trump's aide, a sum of $130,000, and this reportedly was for her to keep quiet on an alleged affair that she claims, a consensual affair that she had with Donald Trump back in 2006. Now, how legally sound is this case? We still don't know, because at this moment, for our viewers, it is important to point out that although Donald Trump has been criminally indicted, the charges against Donald Trump are still not clear. We expect the charges to be read out by the judge at the time that Donald Trump, of course, appears in front of him. But this is a sensational case that people from around the world are tracking and talking about. And also to give us more insights, I'm told that we are being joined by Mr. Stephen Golub, who's joining us live from California. He's an author and also a political analyst. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.